Yeah. What's good? It's be the G Shaw Cypher. You officially tune in to On the Grind Live, where we support anybody out there grinding in any capacity, in any situation. And if you already know what it is, if you grinding, this is definitely the spot where you should be coming to, especially when you want to talk about your grind. You know what I'm saying? But you know the mantra. When you see me, you see dope people. I'm gonna repeat myself. When you see me, my voice all cracking. You see dope people. Anything else is uncivilized. So I got somebody with me that's been doing her thing for a very long time. She's been, taking things to another level. She's expanded. She's got multiple not red hats, multiple hats. You know what I'm saying, in the business, and just making sure that she takes things, in serious and going hard. Little MC, what's good?
Hey, I'm happy to be here. How you feeling?
Man, listen, I'm just glad it's Friday. You get what I'm saying? It's almost
Yeah.
Halloween time. You know what I'm saying, and all that. My kids are happy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They got their pre trick or treat going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. How about you? What's going on your side?
Yeah, and I mean, Halloween is one of the only holidays I celebrate. It's my son's birthday. So
Oh,
I
cool.
love
Happy birthday
October.
to you, Dad. Well, happy early birthday of Halloween. Is he on the actual day?
On the day.
Oh, that's what's up. Happy
Yes.
birthday. Happy early birthday to your son. Definitely,
Thank
definitely.
you.
You know what I'm saying? But last time we talked on Power 107.6 The Truth, our radio station there, we really dug deep into who you are, and things of that nature. But you in the Bay Area. Shout out to the Bay
Bay
Area.
Area.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So how has the Bay Area's unique cultural diversity influenced your musical style and approach?
Mm. Yeah, the Bay Area is a really, really unique place, especially when it comes to music and hip hop and art and culture. It's one of the most diverse places in the country. So you're gonna go into little pockets and you're gonna find people that come from all corners of the earth. And it's not super segregated. I mean, there is areas of segregation, but if you go to New York or somewhere, you have a whole section where it's like it's the Dominicans. You got a whole section where it's the Puerto Ricans. Like here, everybody is we're mixy together. So that obviously going to have a big impact on the music and on the art. And we're outside with it. We've always been outside. We are social justice folks, so we're always fighting for causes that we believe in. And we
Right.
usually fight for causes in the form of music and art. And so you hear a lot of that. And then, Bay Area is also home to the hyphy movement. So we've been
Yeah.
riding that wave for a really, really long time. It's not really something that's super prominent in my music per se, but I like to
Right.
produce West Coast style beats. And we have the best dancers. I say you're
Yeah.
not gonna find people that dance like anywhere else in the Bay Area. We dance a little different. So
Shout out to the
not
Bay
me,
Area
but
for
my
sure.
people do.
Oh yeah, no, it's all good. Ain't nothing wrong if you out there dancing.
I just do a little two step, but I have all my friends that do popping, locking, strutting, churchman, all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't out there dancing neither. You know what I mean? I'm two stepping on. I'm chilling, doing a lean back like Fat Joe. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I ain't
there's
even
nothing
gonna
wrong with
lie to
that.
you. You know what I'm saying? Can you share more about your transition from performing to producing your own music? Because you said you produce.
Yes.
That's a whole different ear. I feel like when you're producing versus, writing the lyrics and performing it.
Yeah, so I've been a musician since I knew how to speak, basically. So I started playing piano and teaching myself how to play when I was around 5 years old. And then
Right.
by the time I was 7, I was classically trained in piano. And so I took to a lot of different instruments growing up, clarinet, percussion. But I really just kind of stuck it out with piano for a while. So I've always been able to read music, hear music, play things by ear. And so, as I started rapping over other people's beats, I realized like I had this really uh, unique style that I wanted to convey in my music, that was kind of like all of the different genres and inspirations that I've listened to. Like I listened to a lot of punk growing up. I listened to a lot of like 90s, I call it menopause music, like Alanis Morissette and the Cranberries, Four
Right.
Non Blondes. Like, and I listened to like Nirvana, and man, The Who, Linkin Park, like just a bunch of different types of music that I wasn't really getting from producers, because I wasn't what they listened to. In addition to hip hop, I was listening to all this other type of music, and so I
Right.
was like, I'd really like to produce my own music. So I had some really great mentors that taught me how to produce on Ableton. And then I started teaching it. So it just helped me learn even faster because I had to now learn and then teach it. And it just really sticks in your brain that way when you're able to teach music. And then I just started getting in the studio with different types of producers and learning things. And it's just,
Right.
now everywhere I go, I'm like, man, I want to sample that. Or, wow, that's a really crazy drum pattern, and you just start like sampling people's voices from all these different types of genres, and you're able to create really unique stuff instead of the same old stuff that you hear all the time.
Right, because you don't want broken records, right? Stuff that you just keep seeing, all the time. I mean, unfortunately, you hear a lot of that on local radios, right? You hear a lot of the same music, a lot of the same type of beats, same type of sounds. So it's dope. It's definitely great to be able to hear different variations and different sounds, and you put those together to create something unique. Definitely. Let's talk about Queens of the Underground.
Let's do it.
What was the inspiration behind founding Queens of the Underground, and how has it impacted your career?
Yeah, so the whole origin story of Queens of the Underground was as an experience that a lot of women in hip hop deal with, which was just being really exploited and not getting the same level of respect that I felt my male counterparts were getting with shows. I was not being paid or not given professional outreach or promotion or marketing. Not like the DJs not being prepared with my music. And maybe it's not even just a woman thing. Maybe it was just an industry thing, but I was just tired of it. And so I was like, I want to start my own platform. It's all women of all different elements of hip hop, not just rappers, but also break dancers, DJs, producers, some visual art, and really just shine a light on women. And then in addition to that, also shining light on like the diversity of women in hip hop. It's like we're only hearing one type of woman rapper these days. As dope as Cardi and Meg and Lotto are, it's like it's the same content over and over again, and it has an impact on people if you think that all women is their bodies. And so I really wanted to showcase the diversity of women's stories, and so we started putting on shows. Mm-hmm.
You know what? And what is the feedback you've been getting since you created that? Like what kind of experience that you've been receiving, or what are people saying now that you've created this for?
I mean, the feedback is always people leave super inspired, and so that's always beautiful to hear. But ultimately, I need more people to really come out and show their support. It's expensive throwing events because in addition to throwing these events, I pay every single artist. I don't do pay to play. I don't do like, openers don't get paid. Like I pay every single person. And unfortunately, what happens is sometimes artists don't promote as much as they should, or sometimes people are like, I'm for women in hip hop, but they actually don't show up in support. So everyone that comes, it turns up, it's fire. Every single person is like, yo, this is the safest space I've been because it's thrown by women. So no one gets that creep energy or anything like that. And they're like, the flow was amazing. It was super professional. You marketed it amazing. Like y'all really did your thing. But at the end of the day, like if y'all really want more stuff like this, I'm not a millionaire. Y'all got to show up and pay for it. So I'm just trying to find ways to really start activating more folks and getting more people out there without having to kind of like sacrifice the integrity of what it is.
No, that makes sense. I mean, the people don't really understand that at the end of the day, it's still a business. This business is extremely expensive, right? Like for you to do your podcast, this podcast, like just period, like your events, it costs money and people don't understand it, but they want the opportunity. You get what I'm saying? So they were like, and one question I generally hate is, when I go, when I when people create events, is they not when create the event, when people ask the person who's doing the event, well, how many people going to show up? I'm like, well, how many?
I can't.
How many people going to be there? Well, how many are you bringing? Right. Like, how many you bringing? How many, can you, how many you bringing that support you? Right. Like real talk. So, cause if you show up and it's 10 people, you going to leave. Right? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I can't bring people out to see you. Your fans got to come. You got to mobilize your fans. And it's like, if this isn't as important to you as it is for me, then maybe this isn't the platform for you. Because it's more than just a quick look. It's like, are you really about like women in hip hop and women empowerment.
Right,
Because if
right,
you're not, then go find some other pay to play gig for yourself or something else, you know,
right,
because it's hard out here for artists. Not a lot of artists are getting paid and are getting assets and photos and videos and green room access and interviews. Like all
right,
that, we do free content days. We
right.
give them like discounted makeovers and hair and like we do a lot for the artists
And,
that come on board.
and all of that costs money. And if it
All of
don't cost money, it costs your time, which you never gonna get
that.
back. Right.
Yo,
So you
tell them.
you ain't never gonna get back. I put people on this platform, you know what I mean, no charge at some points, and they be like, you know what I mean, some people don't even show up. And that's crazy. You get what I'm saying? Like, yo, I really want to push my music, I want to push my brand. And then they, you know, they don't show up or respond to the, you know what I mean, to the follow-ups. And I'm like, yo, that's what happens when you put on, you know, you have to expect it. It's part of the process, right? There's gonna be
Right.
people out there that are just not feeling, you know what I'm saying, not really uh don't really have that integrity or really that sense of urgency about their brand.
Professionalism. That's what it
Right,
is. Like
right,
people don't
right,
understand it's like 80% business and 20% artistry.
right,
And it's like
right,
if you can't even get yourself together to be on time for stuff, to promote stuff, like the thing is because a lot of artists are like dealing with a lot of mental health issues and things of that nature because that's inherently why they became an artist. And so it's really
right,
hard to find artists that are professional and make good music and are doing it for the right reasons. It's
right.
hard.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Um, how do you balance your role as a rapper, a producer, an educator, an event creator? Like we were just talking about the event side of you and the producer side, but you a teacher, artist. Like talk to me about how you have the time and a mom. Let's not forget that. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you balance all that?
People ask me this and I say I don't. I try really hard. Number one, being California sober really helps. I was an addict for most of my life, and that swallows up a lot of your time,
Oh,
wasting time at the bar and wasting time doing crazy stuff. So I get sleep, I take care of myself, I work out 6 days a week, I meditate every single morning. All of those things help me like just focus, you know, like I don't I don't mess around with things that are bad for my body anymore. That's number one. Number
right,
two is I plan everything. Like I got and I start saying no to stuff. Like I just say no to things as much as I want to be at every person's show and do every feature. Like unless it makes sense for me, I gotta say no. Kindly, I gotta deny your offer or whatever it is, and just
right,
really put myself and my family first. And I really right now I'm taking 2 months just to do music and to chill and not go outside. People keep inviting me to stuff, and it's like, hey, have fun. I'm hibernating like a bear and working on pushing this album and working on the next project.
the
So
next
I think just
project.
having boundaries is important in mental health and physical health, all that stuff.
Definitely. So talk to me about the music. You got a, you know, project that's out there, right? Um, you know, the latest single that we have playing, you know, on Power 107.6 The Truth. Like what are you currently pushing right now? You just mentioned, you know, you working on music, you pushing music. Let the people know what we talking about.
Yeah, right now all my focus is going into pushing my debut album, my first solo debut album. I've made a lot of music, a lot of mixtapes, collaborations, singles, all that stuff, EPs.
Right,
But this is my first solo full length album called Flex Maquina. It's my baby. It took, 2 years to finally get it out there to the people and do it the right way with the right team. So I'm putting all my energy behind it. Why put all your time and money and resources into something if you're not going to let it do its thing? So
right, right.
I want to put love into it and the marketing and just like I put love into it on the creation side.
Definitely, definitely. Shout out to the fact that when you do your songs, you got a little Spanish in there. You be changing up the vocals and the you know what I mean, the language and all that. You know, what inspire you to mix it up like that? Because you know, obviously you have artists that, you know, speak different languages within their music, but they usually just stick to the language. They don't really kind of mix it up unless, you know, the beat kind of calls for it, right? You might hear like Cardi B might do a little Spanish here and there and things like that. But for you, it's a must within a specific type of, you know, within the tracks that you're doing. So what inspired you to make sure you keep consistently doing that in your songs?
Yeah, I mean, Spanish is sexy. Like I want to incorporate it as much as possible. And man, how much of the continent speaks or the planet speaks Spanish? Like it's
Right,
probably
right,
one of the second or third most spoken languages. I don't got it off the top, like the data, but it opens you up to so many different types of people. And then of course in the Bay Area, I'm always in my classes speaking in Spanish with kids because we have a lot of Spanish speakers, Spanish natives
right.
here in the Bay Area. So I just feel like it's really important to showcase both sides of me. My mom is white and my dad is Venezuelan, and so I just kind of mix both of those together, and it makes something unique and different and stuff that people haven't heard before. And a lot of my favorite rappers, Snow the Product, shout out. She's also does the same thing. So I'd never seen anyone really do it like her, and I was like, I can do that too. So
Definitely. Well,
yeah.
you definitely started something. Would you say that you starting your own? Uh, would you say that, or would you ever start your own kind of your own genre? You know how people create their own sounds and they create their own genre out of the sounds that they've developed and things like that. Would you say that you're doing that with your music, or you kind of in a certain lane and you want to make sure you stay there, when it comes to the music that you
Mm.
put out?
That's a really good question. I've never heard that question before. I don't think there is really anyone that you can compare me to. There's little bits and pieces of people, but
Right,
that's one of the difficulties that I have is that I can't just emulate another artist and pull their fans because I'm not like any artist.
right,
I do the Spanish flip like the Product, but I have conscious music, like a Rhapsody. But I also have cheeky, fun, flirty music like a Doja Cat, So it's like
right,
there's
right,
little parts here and there, but there's not really anyone like me. So I really got to find the people that really are here for the Lil MC ride, and that's the struggle. But when I'm 50 years old, those are going to be my cult followers that are going to still, be financially supporting me. So it's worth the effort.
right. Now, with music over time changes. You get what I'm saying. Like we was just talking about the '90s era, and I'm from that era too, so I love that type of music. But as you grow, music starts to evolve. So how do you keep yourself authentic in the music that you do, but at the same time navigate these industry trends that we kind of run into as we build in our own music?
Another good question. Well, I teach kids, so I'm lucky enough to have them to keep me somewhat current. I have even older kids that we teach. They're young adults. I collaborate with them, work with them, put them on tracks with me. So, they keep me current. But I also don't really care if I'm not on the trends. Like, as long as I have my ear to the streets and I know it sounds good, then I'm not really trying to ride a trend. I'm not on TikTok. I'm not trying to do TikTok dance challenges. Like,
Right,
I'm
right,
trying to do me. I'm going to try to stay authentic to who I am at the end of the day. And, like, I just didn't finish doing an assembly and signed 900 autographs of fifth graders and sixth graders that rock with my music. So
right,
what
right,
I'm doing is just telling my story. And if it resonates with kids and it resonates with 60 years old, I don't care.
right,
I'm
right.
just here to communicate my truth. So I'm not
Definitely.
really too worried about the trends because those come and go.
They definitely come and go. You get what I'm saying? I definitely feel you on that. And music is going to be music. People going to resonate with it. If and when they do, they always going to come back to you because they know what they're going to get. You know what I mean? They know what to expect, and that's the type of music they want to deal with on a daily basis. Um, they don't need me. Song off of the Flex Maquina. I keep saying that wrong. I'm gonna get it right. um,
Maquina.
Maquina. There you
Yeah.
go. They don't need me. Talk about that song. That's a song that we had playing, and I know we talked about the overall project, but that's one of the ones that you're pushing. So give me the background behind it one more time for the people.
Yeah. This is a song I love. We made that whole song from the beat to recording to mixing all in one day out in London. Shout out Choices Studio. They actually hit me up. They slid in the DMs, and I usually ignore the DMs when they sound crazy. But I was like, I'm gonna be out in London. Let me see what they're talking about. So I
Right.
came through to the top of this crazy penthouse. It was beautiful. Like there was a little white rabbit running around. Like I felt like I was,
Well,
you
I
know,
remember you said that
in
the
a
white
dream.
rabbit. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, this is like a Alice in Wonderland reference. Like maybe I'm meant to stay here.
Right.
So we got in the studio and he just asked me, they're like, what's your inspiration? We checked out, I showed them some of the music that I really like, St. John and Snow the Product. And, we just started producing from there. We made like a trappy Jersey club switch up beat
Right.
with this really hard piano and like this crazy drums. And then, I just switch up and then do a little Spanish in the middle of there. But yeah, the hook, which is they don't need me, they don't want me. It's really just kind of being honest with like a lot of artists, inner critic.
Right.
We like to go out there and flex like we're perfect and we love ourselves and we're all this and that, but it's like every single artist is self-conscious and insecure.
Right.
So I kind
Right.
of wanted to speak to that little part. And then I switch up and I'm like, nah, I am that one, so
Yeah. Yeah.
we all
Definitely.
got the insecurities. So it's like, why are we trying to lie and pretend like it's not there?
Right, right. You know what I mean? You got to be honest with yourself, and I think when you do that with the music, again, that drives people to it because they feel that type of way, but they don't really know how to say it. You just said it for them. Okay, cool. Now I know I'm not alone, right? Like it's not
Yeah.
just me, So, um, that's definitely dope. You know what I mean? That you were able to go out in London, the penthouse, and all that. Like, I know you produce and you work with other producers, but they are, do you? Is there specific producers that you always spin the block and make sure you tune in with to get your music? You know what I mean? Going or. Are you always kind of like diving in to see who else out there can bring the sound you're looking for?
I'm kind of picky. I get a lot of people that send me beats, and as talented as they are, it's just, yeah, once you find that synergy with someone, it's hard for you to want to,
Right,
continue searching elsewhere. So, Choices Studio, I'm definitely going to work with them on my next project, but also Unlearn the World, he executive produced my entire project.
mhm,
But all the beats that he produced, for the most part, we actually did it together. Like, he would produce it, but I would say, like, yo, I want to do a Favela Funk record. Like,
right,
I want to use this kind of sample. Hey, make the intro long. Like, he was there pushing the buttons, but I was in the room with them telling him what I wanted. And
right,
that's the kind of workflow I like. I don't want to just be like, send me a beat. Like, I was like, no, what is this song going to be about? What's it for? Is it for radio? Is it a music video? Is it the lead single? Okay, let's make it big. Let's make it Bay Area. Let's make, whatever it is. Like,
right.
everything is intentional with the music I make. I don't really have time to just make music just to not put energy and intention and thought behind it.
Right, right. You know what? And that's important, right? Like you gotta be able to deliver something onto the the beats and the music that you put out, right? Like when I'm in the studio myself, like I record at home now, but I record at the crib and I send it to a specific engineer, right? Like I got my
Mm-hmm.
engineer that I know is going to do what I need him to do. Like, yo, I need you to do this, boom. This is what I tried to do, and set that up for you. And then it come back better than what I thought. He was like, yeah, I added this right here and boom, boom, boom. See, you know what I mean? Like I can't engineer for nothing. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't make no beats. That's really not my passion. My passion is I get the beat, I write to it. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna perfect it. Then I'm gonna send it to the people where that's their passion, right? The producer, yo, I moved this around this lyric. I think you should do that. And then the engineer,
Mm,
what I'm saying? Yo, I put this in here, because you can't really develop the type of song that you want without the right producer and the engineer. And sometimes the producer is the engineer too, right?
yeah.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
dope to be able to collaborate with those people because they're gonna make sure you come out, come out crispy. I call it crispy. As soon as you come out
Yeah.
crispy, it's a wrap. You get what I'm saying? So definitely. What else you got going on? I mean, I know there's something else, there's some stuff that you want to do that you haven't dived into yet. Um, I know your plate already full, but I know you got more room for some more activity. You get what I'm saying? So, what else you got? How much? What do you want to get into? That you haven't had the time yet, but that's the lane you want to go in.
Well, I already kind of know what I'm setting my sights on for the next couple months. I've actually started fleshing out the idea. It's my next project, but it's going to be a screenplay. So I'm going to
Okay.
write the script for a screenplay. It's going to be a science fiction movie. It's going to be called Where Did All the Dreamers Go? And it's going to take place in the future. It'd be a dystopia. It's going to be really crazy. And then
Right.
I'm going to create a soundtrack to that screenplay. I'm going to, do a ton of research, and every song is actually going to be a dream, the soundtrack to a dream in the movie. So
Oh,
I'm going to do some crazy cyberpunk stuff, um, and just see if I can actually turn the screenplay into a movie. I know a couple directors out there that said they'd be interested. So that's the
and
next big move.
that's what's dope about having the events that you have too. You get a chance to bring people in that you can meet and collaborate and do different things with. And you end up having situations like this that you can take advantage of, right? So, I mean,
Absolutely.
that's definitely dope. This is on the Grind Live podcast. What do you feel like is your definition of grind?
Man, grind. It's just knowing what you want and going after it and not letting anything stop you from getting it, what it is you want,
Right,
especially when it's hard. Because all the good things in life never comes easy. There's
right.
no such thing as a free handout. It just means getting after it. And even when people doubt you and say that you can't do it, proving them wrong.
All day. Anything else is uncivilized. I mean, grinding is necessary in order to achieve whatever it is you're trying to achieve, right? You don't even got to be in music, man. If you got a 9 to 5 and you want to try to get that raise, you got to grind to get to it, right? Because other people out there trying to do it, but you got to understand that once you grind, once you get to where you are, you know what I mean, you got to think about it. There's not too many people up there with you, right? So
Right.
it's not too many people up there with you. So, once you have that, once you up there, that's definitely a great accomplishment. Um, Let the people know the social media. Tell them where they can get the Little MC.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really only active on Instagram. So you can find me there at lilmc.music.
Right,
I tell you what I'm doing. It's a lot of stuff, but you can scroll through, see what events I got coming up, music, all that fun stuff, interviews, right?
right, right, right.
Um, or go to the website, lilmcmusic.com, or go to YouTube and Spotify and find me there. Lil space MC. Like there's a space in between Lil and MC.
Dope. I mean, we on Instagram right now. We also stop playing. Go ahead and follow her. You get what I'm saying, and pay attention. And she got a website. Not too many people that I talk to got their own website. I'm one of them. I got my own website too, shawcipher.com. But
Mm,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's important as an artist or as a brand, as an entity, whatever it is, to have your own artist. Because when Instagram and YouTube and all, I mean, have your own website. When Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, let's just say they go down one time, right? And they throw you off of there. Now people can't find you. Well, if you got your own website, you got your central location. You do whatever you want. Merch, you know what I mean? People buy your music, whatever. You get what I'm saying? So
yep.
make sure y'all go follow her and support her. Any last shout outs you want to give to the people?
Man, shout out to you. I really
Yeah.
appreciate you having playing my music, streaming it. I appreciate your grind. I appreciate the depth of your questions and giving me a platform to share my music with people. So thank
Oh
you.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Listen, man, we're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep showing people that this is a place they can come talk about what they got going on. You know what I mean? We try to keep it positive, official, you know what I mean, and talk about what you want to talk about. There's people out there just, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? That's not even about you. You get what I'm saying? So I like to be able to show love to as many people as we can. But listen, I appreciate you taking the time out on a Friday because you could be anywhere in the
Likewise.
world, but you here with me. Shout out to Jay-Z for those lyrics, right? But keep doing your thing.
Man, thank you, Shaw. I appreciate you. Shout out everybody out there in Florida. I'm glad you guys are safe.
Yeah, yeah. Jacksonville, we really didn't get hit hard this second go around. Um, but my people in Tampa definitely, felt it hard. You know what I'm saying? So, I
Yeah.
mean, everybody out there in Tampa, I hope, I know people got just recently getting their power back, and it's been like weeks. You get what I'm saying? So, stay up, stay, what I mean, and I know that things will get better. And hopefully hurricane season's almost over, right? November, end of November, it'll be officially a wrap for hurricane season out here in Florida. So we'll see, because you never know, some might just want to pop up out of nowhere.
Hey.
So it's real crazy. But yeah, shout out to everybody that that's pushing, that's taking things to the next level, trying to get by, and not giving up. You know. So we'll talk to
You
you
know,
soon, little MC. Keep grinding. We gonna talk
yeah.
again.
Hey, have fun on Halloween. I
You
hope your
too.
kids get all the candy bars and no cavities.
Oh yeah, no doubt. You know, they trying to take all the candy right now. We went to a little thing, you know what I'm saying, at the kids' school or whatever earlier. They was trying to get all the chocolate. It was like, yo, can you get another candy? Why you getting all the chocolate? Nah, it's all good. But yeah, happy birthday to your son, because I know you know what I mean, he was on the day of. That's dope, on the day of Halloween. So happy birthday to him.
Appreciate you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Birthday for me too.
Oh, it's a
The
birthday
day
for
I
you too?
birthed him. Nah, just the day I birthed him. I
Oh
celebrate
yeah,
too,
yeah.
you know.
It's all good. Definitely celebrate. Definitely celebrate. I'll talk
All
to you
right,
soon.
man.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too. You as well. All right, y'all. Be